okay, this is how you can build a nutrition plan, meal plan, whatever you like, using Chat GPT. So first thing I need to do is find out what my daily caloric content is. So I use this prompt. I say, I want you to act as a nutritionist. I'm 42, I'm 5'11", I weigh 100 kg. So you want your age, your height and your weight, and amount of times you work out, and what you actually want to achieve as well. So if it's gain muscle or lose fat, then give it a sort of idea of how much you want to lose per month. Now, try and keep it in the low end here. Don't be silly and say, I want to lose 10 kg of fat per month, because ChatGPT will actually just tell you that's not possible, probably. So 1 to 2 kg of fat per month is probably a decent whack. So you can pop that in, press return, and what you'll see now is you'll see ChatGPT will do the calculations to find your total daily energy expenditure, basically the amount of calories you need to achieve the goal you're looking for. And here we go. You see it coming up now. Superb. Here we go. So it's just giving me the relevant information now. Okay, I have provided my age, but for some reason it hasn't realised that. So say I'm 42. Boom. Now it's going to analyse it and give me my TDEE. For some reason it's just missed my age there, but it's asked me for my age, so it's fine. Needs my age to complete. Boom, boom, boom. Good, here we go. So BMR is approximately 2,000 calories per day, is probably about right. And TDE is probably about 3,185. That's for maintaining body weight, so no loss and no gain. And I would say it's probably about right. I'd say it's probably a little bit on the high side for me, but it does say I work out 4 times per week, and sometimes that's not always true. So if I'm looking to lose 1 to 2 kg per month, a daily deficit of around 500 calories would be a good starting point. I would agree. So that's like 0.5 kilos per week. Again, that's sustainable and doable. So I might want to look to consume around 2,685. Okay, so I probably round that down to about 2005 or 2004. And if I wanted to go a little bit quicker, I might drop it a little bit more, but I wouldn't drop it too much. So there we go. We've got our calories we require, first and foremost. So you go, all right, thanks. So using my TDEE of, and then you can just copy that. I need you to help me build a 7-day meal plan. I want a 40% protein and 40% carb and 20% fat. Breakdown of just say the week rather than the day, because as long as it all equals out, that's fine. So I want, that's a pretty high protein sort of diet there. Pretty high protein, relatively high carb, and moderate fat. I'm pretty happy with that. It's got my calorie content, so I've asked it for a 7-day meal plan. The foods I regularly eat. Now, when you're doing this, what you might want to do before you even start is go on and get a list of foods that you regularly eat, because it's kind of helpful for typing as many foods you regularly eat in as possible. Obviously, the more foods you put in there, the easier it's going to be for ChatGPT to spit out sort of relevant meals and relevant ideas. I'm not going to do that right now, but just for future reference, let's say chicken breast, green veggies. Again, the more specific you are, the better it's gonna spit out relevant meals and relevant diet plans. So oats, milk, whatever, eggs, So I've given it a few things that I like, and I can say I don't like mushrooms, so leave them out. Fantastic. Leave them out my diet plan. So there you go. Okay, so using my TD of 2,685, I need you to help me build a 7-day meal plan. I want 40% carbs, 40% protein, 40% carbs, and 20% fat breakdown of the week. The foods I regularly eat include, and then you list your foods. One thing you can do is even scan your shopping list and do it that way. It's a much easier way, and then just literally just pop it straight into Chat GPT. That's a really easy way of doing it. You're reverse engineering it then, so you don't have to sort of go out and buy loads of new stuff. You're just working with the stuff that you buy regularly anyway. So, build me a 7-day meal plan. Using this, foods I regularly eat, blah, blah, blah. Fantastic. Now, what you can also say is, I'd like you to list the total calories per meal and the macronutrient breakdown of each meal. Could you also provide a few, I'm just going to put 1 to 2 lines of instructions for each meal recipe, please? Right, here we go. So I've asked it quite a bit. Let's see what it spits out. Fantastic. So it's just relaying back to me what I've asked it. Here we go. So it gives me a breakdown here. Total calorie and macronutrient goals. Fantastic. So it tells me how many calories per, so 40% of macronutrient makes up. And then it will give us a meal plan overview. So oatmeal, milk and eggs, 550 kcal, gives me the macro breakdown, gives me the instructions, boom, boom, boom. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily top oatmeal with a hard-boiled egg, but you can eat them on the side. Yeah, but again, it's like I say, it's not perfect, but it's certainly very, very good. You've got to use your brain a little bit. But what it is giving me here is a pretty good breakdown meal plan. Yeah, and again, day 2 to 7 follow a similar structure. Now, if it does that, it's because a lot of the time we haven't been specific enough. So what I can do is I can break it down and say, okay, I need to be more specific. So give me 3 days of meals using the above structure. There we go. So it's going to give me the same one again. It's going to be day 1 as it was by the looks of things. That's fine. Again, the reason it's probably struggling is I haven't given it much information. I haven't given it many things to sort of cook with. So it'll kind of just keep spitting out the same thing. And obviously, the more information you ask it to spit out, the sort of longer it takes, and it tends to time out a little bit. But here we go. We're getting some different. We're getting day 2 now. And again, you just repeat this process for 7 days. You can repeat this process for like, a week, a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. You could just do Monday to Friday and just kind of freestyle it on the weekends if you wanted to. It doesn't really matter. It's how you use it is up to you. But again, we're getting a nice little understanding here of what we're eating per day, the macronutrient breakdown, the calories, and what you can do here is if you follow this, you can essentially stay away from MyFitnessPal a little bit. So if you're not massively comfortable with tracking stuff all the time, you find it quite cumbersome, quite boring. This is one way where you can kind of, to some degree, know that you're taking in the right amount of calories and the right amount of macros when you're eating without having to do too much sort of tracking on the go. It's a nice way of staying accountable to a meal plan, but also reverse engineering a meal plan that works for you, as opposed to saying, let's go out and do a completely different meal plan. If you did want to do that though, and you wanted a list of ingredients to have, you could say something like, okay, can you write me a shopping list for these meals, please. And then what you'll see it will do is it will write you a shopping list for those 3 days. Yeah. And again, you can obviously, if you write out 7 days, you can then just ask it to do a 7-day shopping list. It'll be fine. There you go. Boom. Nicely broken it down into macronutrients as well. Didn't ask it to do that. That's a nice little touch. There we go. So you've got your shopping list there. Yeah. Again, I'm not a fan of shopping lists. I think just shop how you usually shop, and then reverse engineer your meal plans to fit what you eat regularly. I think that's just a much better way, much more sustainable way to do it, rather than start going out and buying all new foods and all new ingredients that you're not even sure you're going to like. So there we go. Fantastic. Now what you can do is we can go again and say, do you remember the meal plan? Yeah, sometimes it's just nice to remind them. Fantastic. There we go. Superb. So yeah, it does remember the meal plan. So can you put this information into a spreadsheet for me, please? So it's now preparing a spreadsheet. So if you wanted to print it off, you could print it off in sort of long form, like an A4 piece of paper, but you can also pop it into a spreadsheet. You can print off, or you can save to your phone or whatever, send to family, whoever it might be, accountability partner, and you can then basically use this as part of your meal planning. So we're just going to leave that to analyze. You'll see that come up 1 sec. Okay, so here's the 3-day meal plan. I can click that, I can download the file, and let's just take a look. Click that link, what's happening? Let's open up my spreadsheet. Here we go. Boom. There we go. So again, not ideal, and I can obviously ask it to do very, very much more specific stuff in terms of here, but it's one way to kind of keep track of what you're doing, and it's just a nice little touch. If you want to put it in a spreadsheet, you can ask it to include specific columns. So you could say, have a column for recipe instructions, for example, whatever it might be. But basically it's given me the calories here and the macronutrient breakdown and the description of the meal and the time in which you'd have it, day one, and the day it's on and whatever. So again, that way you could also mix up your days if you needed to. So that's a very, very brief overview of how to build a nutrition plan using Chat GPT 4. One of the things I would suggest as well is that if you're working in a family or something, or there's any specific food you like to eat with your family, you can tell Chat GPT to do that. You can tell it to exclude certain meals, to say, don't give me a dinner meal because I like to eat dinner with my family and we eat on the go. All these different ways to utilize it, all these different ways to play around with it. You can really kind of make it very bespoke and personal. So yeah, hope that helps, and let me know any issues you have or anything you'd like to ask. I'm happy to feedback. Thanks, guys.